advisory unit on wellness, as you can see.
Okay, first for our introductory activity, we're going to have a nurse or health nutritionist come from the health department and speak to the students about BMI, which is also known as body mass index. Has anyone ever calculated their BMI? Raise your hands.
No good.
No good?
I'm overweight.
Probably muscle. Yeah. See, that could be awful if it's muscle. Okay, so the speaker will talk about how to obtain a healthy BMI, so healthy eating habits, everything, exercise. And the students will be given the opportunity. There's many websites out there that you can use to calculate your own BMI. And we're not going to make the students actually calculate their BMI because, you know, that could cause self-conscious problems, like, you know, eating. So just have them find a website, and if they want to calculate it on their own, they're more than welcome to, but they're not going to be required to. Okay, so the...
I don't know where the little picture went.
Oh, I had a cute little picture there.
Oh, here it is.
Okay. So the first day we're going to talk about, the first lesson will be on the My Pyramid, and I talked about this in my paper. If you go to mypyramid.gov, this has a lot of great lesson plans and different things on there that the students can utilize, not only the teachers. And so the first day they'll learn about the vegetables and more milk than we need of the like meat and beans groups. On day 2, we're going to continue with the My Pyramid, and this is a really good lesson on reading food labels, and students need to learn how to read food labels because, you know, sometimes they want a snack and they just sit there and eat meat and they don't realize that they're eating like 3 or 4 servings. So it helps them to realize, you know, what the total fat is and how many servings per container. And so they'll learn about the serving sizes, and then they're going to be asked to find a food label at home and just kind of be able to answer some information about it to the class. And then the third day we're going to be doing, this is, my mom teaches family and consumer sciences at my hometown, and she shows this to her high schoolers, and it's a really good DVD. It's called Obesity in a Bottle, and it talks about the negative side effects of soda. And then it also talks about about soft drinks, like the harmful effects, but it also has many positive effects. And she suggests to her students, if you're going to drink Gatorade or Powerade, a soft sports drink, that you water it down because there's too many electrolytes in it, and that's what it says in the DVD. And then we just have a class discussion to see, you know, let the students talk about what they think about all the harmful effects of soda, because, you know, they probably drink it daily, so just let them talk about it.
All right, on the 5th day of our advisory unit, we'll be, we kind of, over wellness, we did, you know, wellness is kind of an umbrella and falls under a lot of things, and so we did fitness as the 5th day. And one of the interactive activities that the students will participate in is that they can create a billboard advertising fitness. And so as a class, we'll kind of start the class period with a discussion about what fitness is and what exercise is and what kind of a role it plays in our daily lives and that sort of thing, and how it's important to get, you know, 30 minutes 3-5 times a week, depending what resource you look at. But students will be able to choose any aspect of fitness that they want. So they can do running, they could do weightlifting, just any kind of aspect that they would want, and they'd want to choose like a main slogan, and they would create a billboard. And so they'd be given a piece of construction paper, and they would put their slogan at the top, and it would be a billboard that you would see, you know, like as you would drive down the road. They would do that to advertise fitness. Because of this, they'd be more easily to identify the benefits of exercise, and then they'd be evaluated on the creativity and slogan and the neatness and grammar and the knowledge of the benefits of exercise.
Next, we talk about eating disorders. And first we show a movie and talk about what eating disorders are. And then I think it's important, our last point, we say that we're going to have the students research a place where someone with an eating disorder could go. And this would help them, you know, if they know they have a friend, maybe they could find ways to help their friend out. Or even if they are and the teacher has no idea, this might encourage the students to go get help on their own. And just want to talk about all the different eating disorders, because some students are aware of all of them, but not all students are aware of all the different types. Like, I know some just think of anorexia, but you don't think of bulimia and everything else.
And so kind of moving away from the fitness and eating, we move into living tobacco-free. And so in this activity, students would be shown a healthy lung and an unhealthy lung, a picture of one, and then they would be able to participate in a short aerobic exercise. And the first part would be that we would go to either a stairwell if our school had one, or they could do it in the classroom. And they would be doing, instructed to do, like if they were on the staircase, they would have to, I think it's for a minute and a half, like step up and step down on the stairs just to kind of get their heart rate going. And then they check their heart rate and they fill it out. Well, then the second portion of and they work in pairs. And the second portion of the activity is that they have to do the same thing except breathing through a straw, which is supposed to be, it's supposed to simulate how someone who's been a smoker feels. Since they're, we've already seen a picture of the lungs and how the differences are and how it varies, and that's supposed to be how a smoker feels. And then they do the same thing, they check their heart rate and that sort of thing. And they can kind of see like what it would feel like if you were to smoke just going through your daily activities, because it's just climbing stairs. It isn't even like an actual aerobic intense exercise. And then we'll be going into, we call it impaired, and it's about the use of alcohol or narcotics. And students will sit in a row and they complete an activity where they're in a group of 4 to 5, depending how many you have in your class, and you screw a nut on a bolt, and you just do it normally. You do it as fast as you can, and then you pass it to the person behind you, and the person at the very end of the row is the one timing them. And so they review their time and they put how much time it took them. Well, then they wear the beer goggles. Have you all know about those? And I came across a site that you can actually make your own, which is kind of neat. And you take like Elmer's school glue and you put a thin layer of that on there, and it's supposed to simulate, that it's kind of things are a little bit out of proportion. And then they have to do the same activity but wearing those goggles. And so it's supposed to take them. They're supposed to be a little bit slower, and it kind of shows them, this is what happens and this is how you can be impaired. And then we'll go into hygiene. And that's our last actual lesson day. And the students will work in groups to complete a personal hygiene worksheet, which is included in our advisory unit. And then a local dentist will be invited to the class to serve as a guest speaker and just cover the importance of that teeth play in your overall health. Because a lot of people forget about, like that your teeth and your gums actually do play a role in your overall health. And it affects different parts of your life. Now for accommodating activity, students will be shown which I'll show you all on YouTube, that I don't remember if you all remember when TLC a few years ago did the thing where they looked at the students, the adolescents, who had been leading unhealthy lifestyles, were overweight and that sort of thing, and they projected them how they would look at the age of 40. And so I have these, which I can show you all.
It's called You're Killing Your Kids.
Right. It's called Honey, We're Killing the Kids. Oh, is there noise?
Yes, it's right there. Yep.
And 6-year-old Wyatt. As you know, over the last few weeks, we've done a series of tests on the boys, and I've been observing how you operate as a family. All that information allows
shows students how, all aspects, and we would cover this before showing them this, that all aspects of wellness go into this, not only eating and not only exercise, but if you smoke tobacco, we've seen that, or if you smoke cigarettes, we've seen that, the use of tobacco can affect how you can do aerobic exercise and that sort of thing. The second one that they would see is actually one of someone who has lived a healthy lifestyle. Projected what they look like at the age of 40 after they've lived a healthy lifestyle, so you can see the large difference. And so what we would like you all to do, and what we would have our students do the same, is to sketch a picture of yourself at the age of 40. And in our actual classroom, we would take Polaroid pictures and that sort of thing of them how they are now. But sketch a picture of yourself how you feel that you would look at the age of 40 after living an unhealthy lifestyle. After living an unhealthy lifestyle. So just remember what the very first video that we saw and how that individual looked at the age that he is now, which he was, I believe, 10, and then how it's projected that he would look at age 40. And I'll go ahead and while you all are working, I'll go ahead and show the first one again, so that you can see it again, and then you'll see the second.
11-year-old
To share with us. Would anyone like to share with us their projected drawing?
Go ahead, yours looks very good.
Yeah, I just drew myself really round and sad.
Anyone? Kristen?
I drew myself with big bags and wrinkles all over my face and chest and a big belly with a bottle of wine. And I only have a couple pieces of hair because all my long hair fell out because I'm so unhealthy. Dun, dun, dun.
It's better.
Yeah, he didn't really get the concept.
What? I look fat.
You look like a babe.
What?
Well, does this kind of illustrate to everyone how if you don't lead a healthy lifestyle, and if you don't take care of yourself as an entire person, then you can lead to this. And as she said in the video, that those boys, she projected them to live to the age of 45. because of the lifestyle that they were leading. So that's our 2 weeks.